Hi, this is Russ with Strobel Guitars. I'm going to tell you a little bit about how to set up an electric guitar. This is a Rambler electric guitar. We make professional electric travel guitars, and I'm just going to use this as an example of how you would go about setting up a electric travel guitar. So the thing to know is that it's just a basic string. It's from the nut to the bridge. It's about 24.5 inches, a Gibson scale. At the 12th fret, it cuts the string in half and makes it an octave. And we're going to talk in a little bit about how to set the intonation. But before we do that, we have to make sure that the spacing under the strings is correct. So the first thing we want to do is take a look at the space under the strings at the 12th fret. And it really helps to have one of these little string gauges. It's marked at the bottom from 0.010 inches up to about 0.10 inches. There's little marks here. And when you put this next to the string, you'll be able to tell how much space there is under the string. So at the 12th fret, we want to have between 0.060 and 0.065 inches of clearance. So let's check this one and see what we've got. Okay, so we just line this up at the 12th fret here, and I can see that this is running about 0.090 inches under the low E string at the 12th fret, so that's quite high. And under the high E string, it's about 0.075. So to lower the strings, we lowered the bridge. This is a tune-o-matic bridge. It's fully adjustable up and down with these thumb wheels, and we set the intonation by moving the saddles back and forth. So to be able to lower the bridge, we want to loosen these nuts that hold the bridge on. And if you have a little pair of pliers like this, you can get them at any Harbor Freight store. And then be very careful when you're turning the thumb wheels to not scratch the finish. And you can see how I'm just grabbing the thumb wheel here, and I'm just going to turn that down a few turns. And once you get it loose, you can pretty much do it with your thumbs, with your hands. And let's see what we've got here now. Okay, that's 0.065. Let's lower the treble strings down a little bit. And good, 0.060. So that's it for setting the height of the strings under the 12th fret. And it's also important that we make sure the strings have enough clearance under the 1st fret, but not too much. Under the 1st fret, you want to have about anywhere from 0.02, maybe on the low E string, to about 0.012 inches under the high E string. Now this is determined by the nut slots, and each of these nut slots has to be exactly the same size as the string, or the string's going to, if the slot's too big, the string's going to rattle and make buzz, or if it's too tight, it won't tune, it won't stay in tune. So let's just check this one. Use a feeler gauge here that's got the appropriate thickness blades. I've got the blades from 0.022 inches out to 0.012 inches. I always start at 0.022 just to see if we make the minimum spec, and that doesn't quite fit. Let's try 0.018 here, and that's still not quite getting under. So the action on the 1st fret of this guitar is set at 0.016, which is great. The closer to the fret, the better, as long as it's not too close. Because if it's too high, when you press down on the 1st fret or the 2nd fret, the string is going to go sharp. So let's check on the high E string, see what we've got here. This looks pretty close, so I'm going to start at 0.016, see what we've got. That's a little tight. And this is right at 0.012 inches. So this guitar at the 1st fret is set up perfectly. If you need to adjust this at the 1st fret, you really need to get some fret files, or take it to your guitar shop and have them do it. At Stewart Mac or a lot of other different companies, you can buy the fret files that are the right size for each of the strings. We normally use a .046 inch string for the low E string and a .010 string for the high E string. So these aren't exactly that, but there's a .050 which works for the low E, and we go all the way up here to .012 for the high E. Those make good size fret slots for the nut, and that's what you need if you're going to need to lower them. If the strings are already too low, then you really do need to take it into a shop and have a new nut made. So that's about it for making sure your guitar action is set up properly. And thank you for watching. We'll come back and show you a little bit more about how to set the intonation and check out the truss rod.